We are at HP Discovery. We're talking to Chris Cain of Keysight, and there was just a recent announcement around the partnership with HP. So Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about Keysight?
Okay. Well, thank you, Lucian. So Keysight Technologies was actually just formed 4 years ago. It's actually a spin-off from a company called IIoT Technologies, which more of your audience might be familiar with. IIoT Technologies was a spin-off from HP in 1999. Actually, the Keysight part is the original test and measurement. We specialize in electronic measurement technologies. It actually comes from the foundation of Hewlett-Packard in 1939. The very first products that Bill Hewlett and Dave Packard did together and formed the HP company were around electronic measurement and test. We continue that heritage 80 years later. Okay, so...
very cool. So we've talked a little bit about manufacturing test equipment, and you talked about a solution, and I'll let you discuss the PathWave Analytics.
PathWave Analytics, yes.
Can you give us a brief overview, or our audience, if they watch this, what does it bring to the table for manufacturing testing, and how is it different that some of the solutions for predictive and prescriptive analytics is different than what is out there?
Yes, well thank you. So essentially PathWave Analytics is a solution. We've based it for now, it's designed and architected so that it can be expanded across the entire manufacturing flow. But for now we're actually leveraging one of the key things is you need not only the advanced AI technologies, machine learning, all the algorithms, but you need to marry that with a deep domain expertise. Okay, so that that's actually what contributes to being predictive and prescriptive. It isn't just a matter of analyzing data and finding anomalies, it's knowing what those anomalies mean so that you can take very specific actions to improve your yield, to lower your costs, and improve your productivity in manufacturing. And so what we've done is we've actually based this software technology on our in-circuit test platform, which is used in printed circuit assembly. It's very common. We've been in this business providing in-circuit testers for over 30 years. As HP, now Keysight.
So you've been collecting this data, you've been now working out the efficiencies, extracting the value, because you've had the data for 3 decades.
Yes.
Why now? Why AI and machine learning it became so popular? What are some of the advancements that make this technology hot again?
You know, it's actually part of the catchphrase that you have. So if you go to our website and you look up analytics or manufacturing or industry 4.0, you'll quickly find the information on this product. And it's really a combination of data science and measurement science.
Right.
Okay. And so essentially it's taking data science capability, which is embodied in artificial intelligence and specifically the algorithms like machine learning and whatnot, to essentially be able to discern interesting patterns. Then you have to take those patterns that your data scientists help provide. You're starting to see something and go, well, what does that mean? Sometimes it doesn't, in fact, most of the time it doesn't mean much. Okay?
Right.
But every so often it actually means that it's a very interesting correlation. It gives you an insight before any test starts failing. You can say, well, you know what? That indicates that we may be having this sort of problem. And if we give you an early warning, a notification, and our PathWave Analytics is based on giving you a real-time notification, then essentially you have time to go take action at your choosing. So for example, one of the capabilities that we provide is that we can actually look at the test results and see some variation and say, you know what, that's what happens when a contact pin that's contacting your test, your board under test, essentially starting to get dirty or fail or wear out, which is a common thing. In today's, before predictive and prescriptive, you have to wait for the test to start failing consistently. You stop manufacturing, you go figure out that it's, okay, this pin's dirty, you replace the pin, which takes all of like 10 seconds, but your manufacturing's been down, and then you have to find all of that WIP that you might have mistested, okay, in terms of that you have a false failing result. Okay. In our case, we've seen that pattern occur hours or even days before it actually causes test to fail. Then on the next available time, like a shift change, okay, you can go in and take the 10 seconds to replace the pin. And also because of our deep domain expertise, we give you a graphic, a picture of exactly what to replace. So it saves tremendous time and be able to discern. So one, your line didn't go down. You didn't produce a lot of retest items or even scrap. And essentially you fixed the problem with 0 unplanned downtime.
Right. So in your case, you've also had the opportunity to test your own solution. So you've had the data. But let's take a back step a little bit for a customer that's just looking to get started. And I give you an example. Just recently, I ordered a book on data science, and I wanted to understand a little bit what those algorithms. And a particular book was actually showing that's 1975, 1978. So what they were showing is quite old, basically algorithms.
Yes.
So is of course, the computing power that's approaching zero. That's one thing that's changed.
Right.
But what about in the way to analyze the data? Can you talk about to the extent that it's not patent information or
right?
What can you say about what can you say about the advancements in the learning algorithms or whatever, the machine learning?
Yeah. One of the interesting things that we note is that jumping immediately to the most advanced algorithms and largest data sets is actually a very expensive way to go find deep understandings. What we've learned, and we've echoed this with a lot of other people in the industry, you actually use a toolkit that ranges from those older, some of them centuries-old statistical measurement techniques, and you apply those first. And if those give you some sign, then you take action on that. If that doesn't indicate something, then you use some of the more advanced algorithmic technologies available. So you use the tools at hand in ways that best match both the cost and the effort involved, because those advanced tools, while they can produce wonderful, outstanding results that we didn't see before, are very expensive both in compute time, and you need to have a very strong set of data scientists to help guide you through the proper usage of those tools. So it's really, it's kind of like any trade, any advanced trade. It's many, many tools, and part of the trick is knowing which ones to use. And that's where it's very effective to work with a partner who has experience with that and is continuing to learn. It's a journey that I'm pretty sure will never, ever end.
Thank you for that. On the same note, on partnership with HP, Dr. Tom Brett was talking about yesterday on perhaps the future might be something that you put those tool sets in a box. And it's a magic box that might help someone that may not be as advanced as your facilities, maybe in the level 3 where you onboard them to leverage some of the new technology. What can we expect next from your end, from PathWave and the organization you represent?
Sure, that's a great question. So, a couple of things is it's not just the analytics. I mean, that's a great thing, but it's also a matter about getting good quality data. And so that's actually another key thing our partnership with HPE is proving out. So using some of their, they have a broader set of edge-light solutions. Starting with the EL1000, the EL4000 for the higher end. Those are great solutions to use for more advanced and valuable data collection methods than like the EL300, which is a smaller form, but it's very well suited to having a broader, more varied collection points on the edge. And so having that continue to be extended is critical, because actually being able to do a great job with data analytics and getting great insights is about getting access to all the data. And I think there was a statistic that was actually shown at the kickoff yesterday by the HP CEO, which he talked about that 94% of the data on the edge was just lost. And that's really true. And we find that ourselves as we work with our customers in our PathWave Analytics products. In fact, we've done that internally. So one of the things, we're using our own tools ourselves, okay, and that helps guide us and train us on what to do next. But essentially, actually just keeping all of the information and then all of the correlations, okay, and that does require edge computing and edge storage because it's such a tremendous amount of information, and you also really want to value that real-time latency. Like in our case, we want to be able to get to customers back. Now, we don't do it in milliseconds, anything like that, but actually within a few seconds to within a minute, we want to give them a notification, because then they can much more quickly isolate the problem. Actually, the product that's being tested may not have even left the machine yet, which is a perfect point to do an intercept, and the sooner you can do that, the sooner that people go, oh, I think it's this, okay, and take appropriate action and resolve the issue. And then when
less
they learn
product wasted, yeah.
Exactly. And then once you do enough of that and then log those results, then that's when you get into prescriptive. Because then you can see a pattern of how those root causes were taken and the actions taken, and then come back and say, you know what? The best case is we actually can do this in a way that the problem never recurred. And that's the prescriptive side. Very challenging, but extremely rewarding. Okay? Because then the benefits, the improvements to yield are sustained, the improvements to throughput are sustained, the improvements to having the lowest costs are sustained by taking the appropriate path through. So you don't have this process of reaction. You're actually making proactive investments, so you're getting these great results for your business.
Thank you very much, Chris, and stay tuned for more information, more on computing at the edge and analytics on the edge from Madrid, and as we follow the progress of both HP and Keysight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.